Welcome to United Report, your daily hub for all things Manchester United, from transfer news and match updates to exclusive stories. We've got you covered. If you're a true Red Devil, hit subscribe and join the United family. Glory, glory, Man United. The tension at Old Trafford is reaching boiling point. Just days before Manchester United kick off their pre-season under Ruben Amorim, the futures of Jadon Sancho and Alejandro Garnacho hang in the balance. Sancho is pushing for a Serie A escape with Juventus circling, while Garnacho's latest stunt wearing a Rashford Villa shirt has only deepened his rift with the manager. With Rashford, Garnacho and Sancho all on the brink, and transfer business still stalling, United fans are bracing for a summer of major changes. Will Amorim survive the chaos, or is this just the beginning? Manchester United's players are entering their last weekend before pre-season training kicks off on Monday, with a reminder from Ruben Amorim that they will be expected to post personal bests across a series of physical challenges. But Amorim is still waiting for an update around potential arrivals and departures, with interest in Victor Gyökeres cooling, an eagerness to sign Mbeumo from Brentford maintained, and a host of speculation around expected departures. That includes wingers Jadon Sancho and Alejandro Garnacho, both of whom could head abroad, with Serie A on the cards for the former in a bargain deal. Argentina's Garnacho, however, will cost around £50 million. Jadon Sancho has held talks with Juventus in a bid to end his miserable time at Old Trafford. England winner Sancho spent last season on loan at Chelsea, but the Blues decided against paying £5 million to make his move permanent. He moved to United from Borussia Dortmund in 2021 for £73 million, but has scored just 9 goals. And with no future under Ruben Amorim at United, he is seeking a move abroad, and the Serie A giants have made their firm interest clear, according to various reports. Former Manchester United captain Roy Keane would have taken Alejandro Garnacho out on the training pitch for his latest show of petulance. Garnacho, who has fallen out of favour at United, posted on social media a picture of him wearing an Aston Villa top with Marcus Rashford's name and number on the back. Rashford spent the second half of last season on loan at Villa after falling out with boss Ruben Amorim, and Garnacho's provocative stunt was seen as him taunting the United boss after he too suffered the same fate as the England forward. Garnacho was dropped for United's 1-0 Europa League final defeat to Tottenham in Bilbao, prompting the winger, who turned 21 yesterday, to publicly criticise Amorim over the decision and reveal he was considering his future. That in turn convinced Amorim that Garnacho has no place in his future plans, with the club actively looking to sell the $50 million rated Argentina international this summer. Romelu Lukaku has claimed that he never wanted a move to Manchester United but was swayed by his agent. The Belgian striker signed for the Red Devils in 2017 in a £75 million deal. His switch came after a prolific spell, with Everton having scored 87 goals in 166 appearances for the Toffees. And things started well for Lukaku at Old Trafford, having scored 27 goals across his debut campaign. But things soon went awry, having fallen out of favour during his second season, while he found the net just 15 times. Lukaku was eventually sold to Italian giants Inter Milan. The forward has now admitted that he was never clamouring for a move to United. The winds of change are blowing strong at Old Trafford. Marcus Rashford has been stripped of his iconic number 10 shirt, now handed to new signing Matheus Cunha, in a clear sign that the England Stars United chapter is all but over. But he's not alone. Rashford, Garnacho, Sancho, Antony and Malaysia have all told the club they want out. As pre-season nears, United are bracing for one of the biggest clear-outs in recent history. Ruben Amorim's rebuild is picking up pace. But who will actually leave, and where will they land? Let's break it all down. Marcus Rashford has seen his number 10 shirt at Manchester United handed to Matheus Cunha, in another sign that there will be no return for the England striker at Old Trafford. Indeed, Rashford is one of 5 players who want to leave the club, and having informed the club of their desire to do so, will be allowed to report for duty later in July, rather than reporting back at Carrington next week for pre-season testing. The other 4 are Alejandro Garnacho, Jadon Sancho, Antony and Tyrell Malaysia. All will be allowed to report for pre-season back at Carrington late, as they seek to finalise moves away, having told the club they are keen to move on. The club have confirmed that their medical and rehabilitation facilities will remain available to the players should they want it. Remote support will also continue as it has during the off-season. Sources also insist that if the players cannot get themselves fixed up with moves elsewhere, then they will be welcomed back ahead of the new season, although it will then be down to head coach Ruben Amorim to decide what to do with them. Rashford, who spent the second half of last season on loan at Aston Villa, loses his number 10 shirt at the club as he continues to push for a move away. He is keen to try his luck in another country, with Barcelona his preferred destination. That move has appeared unlikely for much of the summer, with Barca prioritising a move for Spain winger Nico Williams. But amid worries over the Blaugrana's ability to register Williams if they paid his release clause to Athletic Bilbao, amid the club's financial issues, the player has duly signed a new long-term deal with Athletic until 2035, confirming that he won't be moving this summer. That offers an opening to Rashford, either on a permanent deal or on loan, particularly with Liverpool insisting that another Barca target, Luis Diaz, is going nowhere this summer. Sancho is looking to join Juventus after seeing Chelsea pay $5 million to get out of spending $25 million to sign him permanently after his loan spell, while Garnacho, who had been an important piece of Amorim's side for much of last term, is seeking an exit after falling out with the Portuguese. Frustrated at only being a substitute in the Europa League final loss to Spurs, his post-match comments were the last straw, and he was told by the United boss he can leave. Malaysia has been out on loan at PSV Eindhoven, who decided not to make his loan move permanent for £8.3 million and has no future at the club after an injury hit spell, while Antony was a major hit on loan at Real Betis, who are eager to sign him permanently if they can negotiate an affordable price. Another option is sending him back to Seville on a season-long loan deal, with an obligation to buy next summer, with United looking to recoup around £30 on the Brazilian. Marcus Rashford's Barcelona dream may just be alive again. In a major twist, top target Nico Williams has rejected a move to Camp Nou, opening the door wide for the Manchester United star. With Rashford already hinting at a switch to Spain and Barcelona now desperate for a new attacker, could this be the move that reignites his career? Let's break it all down. Marcus Rashford's chances of moving to Barcelona have been improved after Nico Williams sensationally turned down a transfer. The Athletic Bilbao star was strongly linked with a switch to Catalonia this summer. Barcelona had identified him as a prime target this summer, with it being revealed that they were considering paying a $50 million release clause written into his contract. But the move is now off the table after Williams put pen to paper on a stunning new deal with his boyhood club. Williams, 22, has signed a new 10-year contract with Bilbao that will extend his stay with the club until at least 2035. The fresh deal has also seen Williams' release clause rise by 50% to around $75 million. Speaking after his new contract was announced, he said, "When decisions have to be made, for me, what weighs most is the heart. I'm where I want to be, with my people. This is my home. Alpha Athletic." Meanwhile, Bilbao have even sweetened the deal by offering Williams the club's iconic number 10 shirt. Speaking about the switch, he said, "It looks great. Love it. It was Muniain's number. I asked him for it. I'm proud to get this number 10 shirt from Muniain and to make history as he did." And while Barcelona will be left frustrated by the news that Williams will not be signing for the club, it might see them look at alternative targets. Manchester United star Marcus Rashford has already been linked with a move to Spain. United Chiefs expect Rashford to leave on loan this summer after his fallout with Ruben Amorim. A move to the Premier League also appears to be off the cards, with Rashford ruling out a switch to London while he does not want to take a cut to his lofty wages. And speaking recently, he hinted that he would be open to signing for Barcelona. Asked if he would like to play alongside Lamine Yamal, he said, "Yeah, sure, everybody in the world wants to play with the best, so hopefully we'll see." When asked about a switch to Barcelona, he cheekily replied, "We'll see." Rashford added, "Spain is nice, not too far from home. If I train here for a long time, it's good, because my family can come and see me for a few days. It's only a 3-hour flight. The weather is nice here." Rashford has 3 years left to run on his contract with Man United, but he appears to have no future at Old Trafford, so long as Amorim remains in charge. Manchester United are doing everything they can to land Bryan Mbeumo, but getting a deal over the line has never been easy. Brentford's technical director Lee Dykes has revealed the insane story behind how Mbeumo first joined the Bees in 2019, involving a private jet, 43-degree heat, a failed first meeting, and a terrifying flight through snow and lightning. Now, with United's $60 million bid rejected, can they finally get their man? Let's dive into this dramatic transfer saga, past and present. It's not easy getting a deal for Bryan Mbeumo over the line. Just ask Brentford technical director Lee Dykes. The Cameroon star remains at the top of Manchester United's wish list as Ruben Amorim strives to pep up his forward line following a dire season at Old Trafford. United have seen several bids, including a $60 million offer, rejected, but remain hopeful of getting their man, having already snared Matthias Cunha from Wolves. Brentford signed Mbeumo from French side Troyes in 2019, although their pursuit of the striker was far from straightforward. It was a big moment for Dykes, who had recently joined from EFL side Bury. "I felt big pressure because I walked into a function where I was trying to take forward some of the good work that had already been done. he told the Bees website in December 2023. Coming into Brentford, I'd never really spent a lot of money. I'd always worked at League One and League Two level. The most I'd spent was £50,000 on a player, and then 6 weeks later, we are paying £5 million for Bryan Mbeumo. So obviously you start to think, wow, this is big money. But at the end of the day, it's just different money, same process. Dykes, co-director of football, Rasmus Ankersen and head coach Thomas Frank made a whistle-stop trip to France in an effort to complete a deal on Mbeumo, only for those initial talks to come to nothing. We were figuring that there was a possibility to sign Bryan, said Dykes. We had cleverly sourced that information, having been told that he wouldn't entertain the championship. It became quickly apparent that we had to get in and out of France in a day, as Thomas Frank had his training commitments because it was near to the season starting. Where the meeting was going to take place, there was no airport close enough we could find from London or a route to do in one day, so we didn't know if we could make it work. I remember Rasmus just calling me up saying, I spoke to Matthew Benham, club owner, and he said he'll fire up a jet and we'll get over there at that point. I was just thinking, wow. But that's when I started to feel the pressure. I'd lined it all up with Troyes, as well as the agents that were involved, so me, Thomas and Rasmus got on this jet. We got there, it was one of the hottest days of the year. It had reached about 43 degrees Celsius when we landed. It was a 60-minute journey, and the air conditioning wasn't working in the taxi we got in. We had the meeting, spoke with the player, the club and the agent, but the deal broke down. So, I had convinced everyone to fly over to France to get this deal done. I thought it was going to get done, but it had broken down. A bad day then got even worse for Dykes before a deal for Mbeumo was eventually revived. He added on the way back, and I'm not a good flyer in general, the pilot turned to us and said, it's chaotic weather in London, it's snowing, there's thunder, there's lightning. I was thinking, what? It was 43 degrees when we left France. And the journey back was horrendous. I could see the pilot avoiding the dark spots on the radar. I was bricking it. But fortunately, we landed safely, and more importantly, managed to turn around the deal a few days later and eventually sign him. So Brentford fans must know that I risked my life to sign Bryan Mbeumo.